TCU knocks off Texas. They outscored them by 23 points in the second half. They were down by as many as 20 points in the second half. And like I said, TCU,
what did you say?
TCU's the sleeper to win the Big 12. You could have gotten them for 17-1 at Bet Rivers. If you guys would have listened to me, you'd be in a great spot right now. They played Kansas twice last week. They beat Kansas once last week. They almost beat them in Filadell Fieldhouse.
All right, can I take the floor on Texas now? Can I take the floor on Texas?
Tio, how do you feel about Texas?
Are you done voting?
Let me take the floor on Texas. Texas stinks. Texas stinks. I overrated them. These guys are a bunch of guys who came from losing programs. And
That's
honestly, they've completely underachieved. So Texas Longhorns, honestly, I've written you off. I've completely written you off. I still think Chris Beard is a hell of a coach. But this year, yeah, you're done. You're done.
So how much of that falls on Beard?
I mean, some of it. But again, it is a new program with a ton of new players. He's done it before with new players. But he's at least not a Little Rock. It took him a couple years at Texas Tech. Little Rock, you got a little bit lucky there, right? You'd be able to do it in your first year. Usually, you got that many new players. It's going to take a couple years to establish the culture. You know, again, I overrated him. I did. I overrated him. I did it because of Beard. But, you know, these guys, you know, they're missing athleticism up front, and really overall athleticism. They're missing guys that can beat you off the bounce. But honestly, what they're missing is this. They're missing a lot of this.
They have a bunch of empty stats guys.
Yeah.
I would consider Trey Mitchell to be that. I would consider
Well, he's long gone.
Well, yeah.
Tony Bergeron took him
they
and
signed him and the whole I don't know that all nonsense. But Marcus Carr, empty stats guy, he's always been a high level scorer. Just when has he ever won? I think that's the biggest part with the whole thing. And Beard said it today in his press conference. He went after his players in the press conference. They feel like they know more. Well, that guy's been winning. It's
right. That guy's been to a lot of tournaments in a national title game. What have you guys done?
That's exactly right.
Marcus Carr, where have you gone? Timmy Allen, where have you gone? The guys at Texas, the holdovers. The last thing we remember from you is you got your ass kicked by Abilene Christian.
A lot to be said there. A lot to be said there. And it's a team that had enough talent, but
enough talent to be better than they are. Maybe not to win it all. I overrated them. You know, putting them second.
There's a lot to say about transfers this year, though.
Yeah.
I mean, one, you get older guys, grads and stuff like that. Some of these higher profile teams took grad transfers that don't typically. Bill Self did that with Remy Martin. You learn from that. Well, you're not going to change who these guys are. You get them for 1 year, that's what you're going to get. If you don't grab guys from winning programs or coaches.
That's the key. Like Adonis Arms is a great example of that. Kid who, you know, Texas Tech took that we never even mentioned, but what did he do? He came from an NCAA tournament program.
Correct. I think the biggest thing is that we've learned from the transfer market over the last couple of years and seeing how this thing's exploded. The teams that have had success with it, the teams that have struggled with it. I think it's the same as some of the recruiting classes. Like, you can only bring in so many new faces, especially in a place where you don't have a culture established.
Right. That's the difference.
So part of the reason why the turnover was so successful at a place like Texas Tech is because you knew what Texas Tech basketball was. With Mark
Kevin
Adams,
McCullough,
with Chris Beard. It doesn't matter who the head coach is.
McCullough, Shannon, Santos Silva, Nadomi.
Yes, you had some holdovers. But the biggest thing was the holdover was Mark Adams.
Sure.
Yes. Had a certain way that he wants to play, and that way that he wants to play is the same way that it was when Chris Beard was there, right? You knew what you're getting when you go there. You recruited a specific kind of kid to go to that program.
Well, that's the other part. Okay, so in addition, also Chris Beard had two new assistant coaches who didn't know him yet, right? Terrence Howard comes over. Rodney Terry comes over. They don't know him yet.
And they went for higher ranked guys as opposed to fit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You talked to me about that. Yeah. And if you look at the guys that he took while he was at Texas Tech, big physical.
Most of them were just fit. They all fit.
Like they were just gritty guys.
And you know who didn't fit? The higher ranked guys.
That's right. So they end up leaving, right? Was it Micah Peavy that's at TCU now?
Peavy and the other McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, the big, strong, switchable guys. Mark Adams continued to grab those guys. New assistant.
And again, winning guys. O'Banner came. They won games in the NCAA tournament last year.
Yep.
Like Arms, that was, those are the culture guys. They fit. Bryson Williams has been awesome for Texas.